Welcome, everybody, to Noah and Kyle Live. We are going to dedicate this show to the leading man of Three Doors Down, Brad Arnold. He just passed away. It was announced he passed away today. One of the all-time greats from one of the greatest rock bands of all time. He's been having a really rough, 2-3 years now? This man has been...
They were supposed to do like a tour last year, and they had to call it off because of his health.
Yeah. But we're dedicating this show in memory of Brad Arnold, and in memory of him also, I'm going to ask you to listen to your favorite Three Doors Down song at the end of the stream. So, enough of this gooey show of emotion. We're going to go into the top 10 worst movies of 2025. In a couple weeks, we'll be back with our top 10 of best of 2025, which that'll be good for me because a lot of my most anticipated hasn't even come on digital yet, and my theaters didn't play them.
Hey. Well, you have a theater that only has like 2 screens. So.
Yeah. Yeah. But don't you know it? We do have Iron Lung. So I will give them that. At least we got Iron Lung.
It was a really good movie. I really liked that one.
I'm telling you what, my theater never erupted for anything. In any of the Marvel movies, any DC movie, no musical, no nothing. In the past 3 or 5 years, 3, 4, 5 years, nothing. Nothing since Endgame. Iron Lung, the pictures at the end came up and everyone's like, Amy! Amy! And I'm like, who's Amy? Lucy! Who's Lucy? Who? But my theater was going freaking insane for it. I love that for his fan base.
I'm really proud of him. I mean, it's guerrilla filmmaking at the by its very definition, and he turned a very nice profit from it. Very, very good.
And I hope it just keeps going up. This man has put in his work, and I'm not saying it's a perfect film, but by God, was it just a great masterclass in guerrilla filmmaking for under $4 million, promoting it yourself, and only supposed to be being in a few hundred theaters to over 3,400.
I read it was like originally 50 theaters to start, and then it was like a Paranormal Activity thing. When the first one of those came out, they were like, "Oh, if you want your theater to show it, you just have to tell going here."
Yeah, and I'm lucky enough to say I got to see it, which, I mean, last year, I am going to be honest, I didn't go to the theater as much because I started a new job, but I'm on a roll this year. So, how this is going to work is we're going to go over our dishonorable mentions for the worst of 2025. There is quite a few of them because we had some clunkers. Oh my God. And then we will each take turns going from 10 to 1. And as always, I'm going to let my co-host Kyle go first with his dishonorable mentions.
Thank you. If I feel the need to explain some of these, it's only going to be 1 or 2 sentences because there are a lot. But in no particular order, we have Juliet and Romeo, Eden, The Woman in the Yard, Into the Deep, Frozen, the hit Broadway musical, Until Dawn, Uppercut, Downton Abbey, the grand finale, Shadow of God, Borderline, Exit Protocol, Desert Dawn, Saint Clair, You're Cordially Invited, Him, Summer of '69, Smurfs, Trainwreck, PI Moms, Splitsville, Champagne Problems, which those 2 I watched with Molly, and both of us really didn't care for either of those. A Breed Apart, Brave the Dark, Another Simple Favor, which talk about a massive drop in quality there. Sneaks, I Know What You Did Last Christmas, Piglet, Duplicity, Tin Soldier, House on Eden, Trainwreck: The Real Project X, The Unbreakable Boy, War of the Worlds, The Empire, and then this one I haven't logged yet. I'm a little backed up on some reviews, but Alarum, the Sylvester Stallone, Scott Eastwood one. Very boring, not good at all. How I mean, I would say that the one thing I can attest to with how its quality is I sat down to watch it with my uncle and cousin who they also like Stallone, and both of them were asleep 10 minutes in, and they slept through the rest of the movie.
So they liked it.
No. Oh, yeah. Huge fans.
I'm gonna have some hot takes in mine here. So starting off my dishonorable mentions, I have Death of a Unicorn, Black Phone 2.
Oh, okay.
Into the Deep.
Yeah, that wasn't, yeah. No.
There are going to be some Hallmark ones because I have to count them.
Yeah, no, they're movies, so.
And some of these titles are just cinematic classes that this is a master class. You're going to find these in your 99-cent store on a 8-track very, very soon. A Wisconsin Christmas Pie. Grounded for Love. Double Scoop. You would think that sounds like a porn about ice cream. No, it has very little to do with ice cream. They call it a frosty competition in the movie.
Oh.
A frosty competition. Okay. That's not what I would call it. Joy to the World. Chad Michael Murray doing a Hulu movie. You can tell he's not trying. A Merry Little Xmas.
Yeah, we watched that when that came out. It was okay, but nothing I would ever sit and watch again.
No. The more I thought about this one, the more I disliked it. Playdate with Kevin James.
So I fully recognize that movie is completely stupid. It's very much not a quote unquote good movie. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed it a lot, though. I thought it was really funny.
I have to say, The Wrecking Crew, I thought the same thing about, and the more I think about it, the more I like that one a lot.
I haven't watched The Wrecking Crew yet. I have to.
It's right up your alley. I
know it is. I'm upset that I haven't watched it yet. It's Momoa and Batista, and a buddy cop movie. I love those two, and I love buddy cop movies.
My favorite line is sword fight. You'll know when you see it. Here's one that might get me in a little bit of trouble. Karate Kid Legends. Dishonorable mention.
I forgot that came out this year.
Yeah. Coyotes.
I haven't seen that yet.
It's Justin Long movie. He's in it. That's and then to end off my dishonorable mentions, I'm putting up Eddington. I thought, yeah.
Oh no.
But,
well, you guys will see in a couple weeks why I'm disappointed with it.
But then again, I think that's a movie that I have to rewatch because watching it for the first time, it might not sit with you. Knowing what I know now on a rewatch, it might work a lot better for me. Now that I know all the messaging and the ending and everything, it might sit better with me.
That's completely fair. Because his other movies, I've had to do that with Hereditary and Midsommar. So I completely get that.
But I can't say that it's a awful film. I just said in my review that I didn't care for it. It wasn't for me. Mm-hmm. But thinking about it a couple months after, I'm going to rewatch it before we do the best of show and catch up on a couple of things. but there are the dishonorable mentions, and boy, those aren't even. Oh wait a minute. No, I forgot. I took those out of that list. So now I have 10 more dishonorable mentions.
Roll them out.
Oh boy. Fear Street Prom Queen.
I didn't mind that one. I was in the minority with that one, much like I don't know if you're going to mention it or not, but the Strangers trilogy. I see one of our commenters has mentioned those movies. I'm in the very, very small minority with those movies. I yes, they're not great, but I don't mind them also.
I'm the same way. I liked 1. I liked 2 a little bit more. I'm pissed off my theater isn't getting 3, but we're getting Solo Mio. So I guess it's not all that bad where I can donate a free ticket. Yay!
It's a Kevin James movie. So yeah, I like Kevin James a lot. I'm
Yeah.
happy with what he's doing.
Next up, Presents. I didn't like that movie all that well.
I loved Presents, but I also understand that it's a movie that's not going to hit with everyone.
And I might have to rewatch that in the dark. That might help too, and not in broad daylight. I mean,
The dark theater definitely helped.
yeah. Another Hallmark movie here, The Perfect Setting. It didn't set with me very well. It made me have to go to the bathroom. Friendship. I don't like his style of comedy.
That's also completely fair. I love Friendship, the Tim Robinson movie, but I love Tim Robinson's comedy, which is why I'm glad that he's found an audience, because I could tell when he was on Saturday Night Live, and this was like 15 years ago, back when like Bill Hader and Sudeikis and Kristen Wiig were on there.
Oh yeah,
that he was being held back. He wanted to do like an Andy Kaufman style comedy, but they weren't letting him for some reason. So I'm glad he has this other platform now. I think You Should Leave, bar none, one of the funniest shows I've ever seen. I love it.
Next up, you mentioned this one too, Until Dawn.
Yeah, didn't like that.
The Monkey. I didn't like The Monkey, but Osgood Perkins has made 4 movies now I'm not a fan of. I haven't liked any of his work. So maybe it's just his style.
Have you seen The Blackcoat's Daughter?
That's the one I have not seen yet.
Give that one a watch. You might. I'm not saying you'll like it,
Yeah,
but it might. It's different than his other ones. It's not as jokey.
Yeah. The Monkey was just too stupid for its own good for me, and I didn't like the ending. The ending really annoyed me.
Definitely, yeah. The Monkey, the tone was a little off on that one.
Oh, another Christmas one. Oh boy, this goes by two titles. That's how good it actually is. Its original title on here is Once Upon a Christmas Prince. No, sorry. Once Upon a Christmas Crown.
Ooh.
I saw it as A Royal Icing Christmas.
Well, I have to tell you, is that a Hallmark movie?
It's a Hallmarky type of movie. Yeah, it's one that was on their competitor channel, which makes the same movies.
Well, both titles suck complete shit. So
yeah, they do. But it doesn't get any better than this. Catch of the Day. Catch of the Day is a Hallmark movie that's pretty much about this fish restaurant. Yeah.
I figured it had to be something about fish or fishing.
And then my final 3, I'm very shocked that this one didn't make my dishonorable or my top 10. Kind of Pregnant.
Wow, yeah, that's a spoiler alert. That's on my list.
Melt My Heart This Christmas. It melted something. It wasn't my heart.
Brain cells.
What little I have, yes. And then Hurry Up Tomorrow.
Again, I'm very much in the very, very minor minority with Hurry Up Tomorrow. Um, I don't know. With that movie, I was just very intrigued by it, and I saw
Mhm.
something in it that most people didn't, and that's completely fine. Um,
Exactly.
yeah, that's just it's better than The Idol, the TV show that he did. Way better than The Idol.
Oh yeah.
So hopefully we can agree on that.
Ho, ho. Mm. The Idol was that was an experience.
His acting was atrocious in The Idol. I'm not saying it's awards caliber and Hurry Up Tomorrow, but there is a noticeable improvement.
He's definitely taken some acting classes in that span of time. Thank God. Thank God. And at least he had Jenna Ortega in this one to kind of bounce off of a little bit. But
Yeah,
so
that's true.
what do we have in the comments? Luke, yeah, he hates those. He hates the strangers.
That's fair. Yeah, I can't really be too defensible against. Like I said, I like them, but I also recognize that they're not great.
Some of the other ones, Smurfs, Skill House, Honey Don't, Kind of Pregnant, Hurry Up Tomorrow, and War of the Worlds.
Yeah, Honey Don't wasn't really that good to me either, but I don't know. Chris Evans was the best part of it. So, and because he's so watchable, I gave it like a 2 out of 4 rating. So it wasn't that bad, but it still wasn't good.
All right, so starting off your top 10.
So my number 10 is The Home with Pete Davidson. Actually, a lot of these, actually, for the first half of the list, it's going to be brief on my end because I really don't have too much to say. At least for
either.
Yeah, for some of these that haven't already been said. But The Home is just very mean spirited, very ugly. I don't find old people that are like off their rockers to be very scary. I think I don't know. It just doesn't. It's not scary to me. Funny.
Yeah.
That's it. But Pete Davidson starts the movie trying to do something with it, and then halfway through, he's like completely given up. And then there's a twist ending that just does not work, and it makes the entire project just completely asinine and ridiculous by the end. It follows Pete Davidson. It's a horror movie where he doesn't want to do like 3 or 4 months of jail time for being a graffiti artist. Like he got caught tagging a building at like the age of 30 something that he is. So they're like, well, we're going to put you in this, like, his dad comes to him and he's like, I talked to the judge and we're going to do this instead. Like, you're going to volunteer at an assisted living facility. And it's really awful. That's my number 10. I hated The Home.
My number 10 is a Hallmark movie that I have to say I was really looking forward to. I was really looking forward to this one. I've met the director. Really nice guy. I have talked to the lead actress. She's a sweetheart. And I like the lead actor. This is a little movie that was widely loved, but not by me. It's a little movie called A Newport Christmas. This one is basically a time travel movie that starts out with her in like 1905, and then she ends up coming to 2025. Here's the thing, though. There's a moment where I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, fine. But once we get to the actual beginning of her finding out this is how this works, there's only so many times we've seen in a movie a mouse. Oh my God, a mouse. Where's the mouse? It's that type of humor.
Nice.
But the ending, however, is where I draw the line. The ending of the movie, she has been looking for this guy the entire time. This woman has a lot of money, and her mother is gone, and her father intended her to be engaged to a man she never met. What just so happens, we get to the end of the movie. The guy she met in 2025 is the same guy she's going to marry in 1905. Same name, same guy. What happened to him in 2025? Who fucking knows? That's never explained. The only saving grace I will say for the micro budget this was made for, of like maybe a couple $1 million, the CGI doesn't look all that bad for a TV movie. There are moments on the water where it was green screened and CGI. You couldn't tell. It literally looked like they were on the water. In Newport, there are certain laws where you cannot go into the water past a certain time. Mm-hmm. So they got away with that with CGI. Dustin did a really nice job of conveying that. And Gina Claire Mason is a gem in everything she's in. I love her even in her mediocre to bad films like this one. I love her to death. Newport Christmas is one of the worst Hallmark Christmas films I have ever seen out of the 400, 500 I've seen.
This is how I had a slow moment a couple minutes ago. When you said the title of it, it took me a couple minutes to go, oh, Newport, Connecticut, not Newport like the fucking cigarettes.
Well, you know, it's a Saturday. We've had a day. We've had a day. I'm gonna have one of those soon. Trust me. Trust me. But Newport Christmas, if you're a Hallmark fan, go for it. But if you're not, it's not a Christmas classic you need to seek out. Hi, Molly.
Hi, love.
Always good to see you.
So my number 9 is one that her and I watched together. And it's actually also another, you liked The Home. This is another one that you like. My number 9 is A Very Jonas Christmas Movie.
Yeah.
This was very atrocious to sit through. I don't understand why that this was done, other than money laundering reasons or because they were in desperate need of money. These three couldn't carry this to save their lives. There are very little. There's 2 funny moments. There's one where they get to this dingy hotel and the door lock is a piece of a string that's broken in half.
Yeah.
And then the other one, there's like a driving instructor that drives all over the road like an asshole. They're not funny. They're also not interesting. I don't understand why they feel the need to spill everything about their lives onto everyone. Like, I don't care. I could not. Nobody has been that devoted to you guys since 2010. No. So it's very dull. It's very unfunny. And then at the end, when they're all gathered around their wives and their children and their spacious house and everything, it's just a reminder that they have money and you don't.
I enjoyed that one just because I was a fan of their show and it took me back to that time. I'm like, okay, I'm watching another version of their TV show just 15 years later. But this was made ultimately for the fans. And if you're a fan of them, you're going to eat this up. You're going to eat this up. I'm not a massive fan of them, but man, it was nice to see them do something again. But I will acknowledge, while I enjoyed it, I'm not acknowledging it's a good movie. I can't. I literally can't. My number 9 is one that Yeah. This is gonna be a fun one. Jurassic World Rebirth.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on
I
now. Have some fun.
I had fun with this. With me and my friend just whispering back and forth. But again, I will say that I am going to rewatch this with the lenses off this time because I saw it in 3D.
That's right. You were telling me about that. Yeah, 3D. So with you, let me ask because I saw Mercy in 3D a couple weeks ago, because that it was a mystery movie screening and it was IMAX 3D, and I said, well, why not? I haven't seen a movie in 3D in about 10 years.
Yeah.
Are the glasses like different for you? Because the way they are, they're like big plastic pieces of like, they're not comfortable to wear. Like the lenses are big squares that sit on the bridge of your nose very awkwardly, and then the handles just wrap around your head very weirdly. Is it like that for you, or is
No,
it just weird up here?
uh, no, mine are regular, just sort of like reading glasses. They're just like that.
That's
But
awesome. I'm glad that I got to experience that.
but you looked like you were having a ball. I mean,
Yeah, but they were uncomfortable, man. Like I had to keep, and the worst part was like I had to keep taking them off. I would look at the screen and I would go, "What the hell? It looks fine."
yeah, I I took mine off and I'm like, okay, why does it look regular? And then a dinosaur would move and I'd be like, okay, yeah, that's right. It is 3D, isn't it? It's only when the dinosaurs moved, but when the people were just standing there or they pointed something at the screen, it definitely didn't work. It didn't work at all. But I am going to rewatch this at some point. Regardless, I didn't like this movie in the slightest, but I had a better theater experience than I did with my enjoyment of the movie because my theater was having the time of their lives. And that's what I love to see is a theater actually getting into a movie. Not like a cheering for like a big moment or anything. No, I'm talking like engaging with it. And one jump scare, going back in there, see, whoa, all together. I enjoy that. This movie didn't work for me in the slightest. I thought it was a little bit overly long. I didn't like Scarlett Johansson's character at all. I didn't really buy her character. If I'm being completely honest with you, I didn't buy her. But rewatching it, it could hit me differently. Maybe I was just having an off day and it didn't work for me on that particular viewing. On the second viewing, it could go up.
That's fair. So my number 8 is Stealing Pulp Fiction. In the 90s, when Pulp Fiction hit it big, there were a bunch of these weirdo imitators that tried doing the same formula and it didn't work. This one is essentially doing the same thing. You have these two friends, one of whom is very, very irritating, and the other one who is also irritating, but for a completely different reason, because he speaks to everyone like a preschooler. They want to steal a 35 millimeter print of said movie because they just want to. And then that's really it. Like you're watching a bunch of unlikable people and a really, really unfunny Tarantino impersonator at one point come in and just be clowns for almost 80 minutes. It's a worthless experience and one that I wouldn't wish on anyone. It's free on Tubi, and I don't even recommend watching it for free. It's that stupid.
I thought about watching that, and then I saw your review. I'm like, I'm not even gonna waste my time.
Yeah, don't bother.
This one, I forget how you felt about it. My next one, I was so looking forward to this. The trailer worked for me. And then I was sitting there in the movie and I was just bored. The comedy was not hitting. I liked the chemistry between our two leads, but it's Anaconda. My number 8 is Anaconda.
I liked it, but I also fully acknowledge that that movie is, again, as I've said a couple times in this show, it's not going to be for everybody. So I completely understand.
Now, that being said, the original Anaconda isn't a great movie either. That's just a shitload of fun.
But what I find really interesting is that it's been nearly 30 years between both movies, and the CGI still looks the same.
Yeah,
in both of them.
And one thing that really rolled my eyes, am I able to get into a little bit of the spoilers a little bit? If somebody hasn't seen it.
I mean, spoiler warning for like the 2 or 3 people that might care that didn't venture to see in theaters. Are you talking about the Ice Cube part?
The Ice Cube cameo and the J-Lo cameo at the very end.
The J-Lo one seemed very unnecessary. The Ice Cube one I thought was interesting, only because I'm a big Ice Cube fan. But I didn't like how a week before the movie came out, he was coming out saying that he was in it. I wish they would have kept that quiet and had that have been a surprise for people going into it.
I was sitting there and I'm like, okay, so Ice Cube's in this. I'm with my buddy, and I quietly whisper, I'm like, if J-Lo's in this, I'm going to lose my shit. Because the Ice Cube part felt forced to me. J-Lo was going to take it way over the edge.
The J-Lo one felt like they had a test screening, and they realized that that would have been a great add-on before the movie officially hit theaters.
Yep.
It didn't feel very natural. It felt like, oh yeah, by the way, they're interested in shooting something, so let's get them together quick.
I wish I liked it more, but it just didn't work for me. Then again, my coworker absolutely loved it. She loved it. So God bless her for it.
That's fair.
But I will say there was one laugh I did get, and it's when Steve Zahn had to pee on him.
I love Steve Zahn, so I'm just happy to see that he's back in like kind of a goofier role. I loved him in this one.
But that is my number 8.
My number 7, I believe this is also still on Tubi. If not, then I mean, no love lost. But this is a film called Everyone is Going to Die. I'm all for like thrillers and like home invasion type things, but the main actress, or the main, like, there are 2 robbers. They're in comedy and tragedy masks. Well, the comedy one takes off her mask immediately, and she does not shut up. She is talking over everyone and is extremely grating on the nerves. It's a movie that left me feeling gross, and not in a good way. It's really unpleasant, and there is a really intriguing twist at the end of it. I remember something about the very end of it made me further upset, because I'm like, well, why couldn't the rest of the movie be that good? Because like the last 2 or 3 minutes are like really, really good. But yeah, just really bad. I didn't like Everyone's Going to Die.
This next one, I actually am going to go on a little bit longer on this one, because I have a lot to say with this one.
Go for it, yeah.
This is another Christmas one. And you would think that with who the lead star is. I love her to death. This is a movie that was a Fathom event, and it is called Another Sweet Christmas. This is a sequel to a Great American Family movie called Home Sweet Christmas with Candace Cameron Bure and Cameron Matheson. So, what this movie is, it's basically, we learn in the first movie that Cameron Matheson's character is a screenwriter. He decides he's going to write a script in this one that is basically what happened in the first movie. He's basically telling their story. Here's my thing. The movie stars an actress named Stephanie Bennett, who is supposed to be playing the role of Candace Cameron Bure. You look nothing like her. You do not act like her. I have spoke to Stephanie a couple of times. She is an asshole. Her agent is an asshole. So, watching her act, I'm like, okay. I'm with my parents because they wanted to see this too. So I paid $14 a piece for the Fathom event, $43 and some odd cents with tax that I'm still not over yet.
I wouldn't be either.
To watch her act like she's the most happy, joyous person in the world when I know that she's a pain in the ass. And I've been told by other people too. So, I'm watching the movie. All of a sudden, the screen goes black. Out of nowhere. I mean, the screen just goes black. No cause. No nothing. The movie wasn't finished. It wasn't finished, and they put it in theaters. I shit you not, the movie wasn't finished.
Like, did they come out and say that it wasn't finished?
No, but you could tell, because at one point in the movie, that there's a color grading issue. The movie completely cuts to black, and then a small box up top said something. Color grade check. They were not done editing this movie. The movie wasn't finished.
So they shouldn't have charged money for you then.
No.
Because they didn't advertise that it was something. Because it's different if they advertise it like that. Because with Meat, that was the premiere / test screening. So there were a couple things that weren't finished in there. But number one, wasn't that many. And number two, again, he said it several times. So I didn't mind. That's a professional company charging you money for a movie that's not finished.
And there are multiple times where the movie just cuts to black. And I'm not meaning like this was supposed to air on a cable channel. So of course you have like a cut to black to go to an ad break, sure. Yeah. But no, they're literally talking. Just like you and I are right now, and then the movie just cuts to black, but they're still talking. They're still talking.
Wow.
The movie wasn't even finished. And if you're making a movie and you've been in the business as long as Cameron Matheson and Candace Cameron Bure have been, you should know how this business works. Candace has been in this since 1983, 4. So this is all about them making a movie based on their lives, on their first year together. The director decides that he has to step out because his wife is about to have a baby, which you knew before you signed on that you were going to be in production.
Whoops, surprise.
If she's 37, 38 weeks pregnant, why would you sign on and still be directing the movie? Mind you.
That's a good point.
But then here's what doesn't happen. The actors hear that, oh, our director has left. We choose the writer as our director now. They just said, you're the director now. No meetings, no contract. no negotiations, no nothing. It's just you are here, you know the story, this is your life, you do it. He doesn't know how to direct a movie. He literally doesn't know how to direct a movie. So we get into meeting everybody, right? The lead actress used to date the guy who is playing Cameron's character. They have to fake chemistry. Okay, so they fake chemistry. They don't fake it very well because they still hate each other, but they do like these montages and a lot of the romances. We're doing this and a snowball fight and tackling her to the ground, holding her, da 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 da. Everything seems to be fine. It looks like they're fine. They have a quick talk. Cool. They never acknowledged that they were even into each other again. They never acknowledged that they were okay. It was just they were acting and they were told to do their jobs. We don't see her, the actress playing Candace Cameron, for a good 30 minutes in the movie. All of a sudden, she pops up on screen saying, I think I'm in love with him and I want to give him another chance. Cool. Fine. Later in the movie, she doesn't even tell him what's going on. We never found out why they broke up. We never found out anything about their history. They were just exes and they hated each other. We go to a dinner scene. She's about to tell him, hey, I want to get a second chance. I want to restart. He just gets up and leaves. He gets up and leaves and then consoles her. The movie has the audacity to make you believe that after Candace Cameron has a quick talk with him, that it's okay to give your ex a second chance. A quick talk, not talking with your ex about shit. No. None of that. Not actually having a conversation and being a human being, because this is the Great American Family verse where everything is all right and we have to have everything crystal clear and speak it to everybody like we're idiots. But that's not even the main plot of the movie. They're making the movie while he's trying to plan the wedding to Candace.
That's
and his secret is he's shooting the wedding scene. He already wrote the wedding scene when he wasn't even engaged yet. He's going to be directing it. His secret is he's going to get them married after he shoots the wedding scene. So he secretly buys her dress that she wants. Nobody in the cast knows. Nobody in the cast tells her, because everybody knows that this is his plan. That he's going to marry her on set with no professional makeup. She doesn't have a dress planned. She doesn't know why her family is not coming for Christmas, for anything anymore. She doesn't know anything. So he's basically lying to his fiance the entire time. 84 minutes this movie goes on for. And then, after I think it's done, the movie has the balls to do a Q&A session with the cast. They don't ask shit about the movie, and you'll never guess what the last question of the Q&A was. It wasn't even about the fucking movie. It was this little kid asking Candace Cameron what she thought of playing DJ Tanner on Full House, and that's how they ended the screening of her answering a question about Full House, not even promoting the movie. Thank you, It was about Full House.
Well, you're more forgiving than I am. I don't stay for the Q&A stuff because
I really didn't have a choice because my family wanted to see what she had to say.
Yeah, but some of the ones that I have where it's like a Q&A were like The Surfer with Nick Cage and Die My Love with Jennifer Lawrence. I didn't And oddly enough, both of those were movies I didn't care for. So I'm like, okay, well, the movie's over. I'm not sticking around to see the live stream Q&A. I'm going to go home.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there, and immediately I text my co-host of the Hallmark podcast. I said, Kirsten, the movie wasn't finished. She says, what? I said, they didn't finish the movie before they put it in theaters. They made you pay a Fathom event $14 in my area fee on top of the tax and everything. So about $43 all said and done to sit there and watch an unfinished film that is god awful, that shouldn't be going to theaters anyways. But here's what pissed me off more. Before we went to the movie, before the movie was even in theaters, they announced that they're doing a third one.
I figured.
They announced they're doing
they should probably finish the second one before they do it, but
they should. And they put it for free on Great American Family. So now you can watch Another Sweet Christmas as you fall asleep at night.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what the movie's good for.
Well, yeah, I would assume so. That's nuts that happened to you, though. I mean, $43 for a movie that's not finished and it wasn't advertised as finished. That's the very definition of a scam.
But that was my number 7, and that was my second screening for a Fathom event. Both were Christmas movies. The other one was The Christmas Ring. And I thought, okay, cool. I saw The Christmas Ring before this one. And I'm like, surely it has to be the same type of quality. It's a similar story structure. No, the movie just wasn't finished, and they made me pay money for it. And I know it wasn't the screen. It wasn't the screen because This is Cinemark. If it was my theater with 2 auditoriums, I would understand if it looked a little bit off. But out of the thousands of movies I've gone to, I've never seen that. I've never seen an unfinished movie in theaters where it literally looks unfinished, and when you know that they were supposed to be editing something, and then after it looks like they've finished it, the color grading goes back to normal. It's all of a sudden brighter. I'm like, this is shit. And I'm sitting in that theater, my arms are crossed, and I'm pissed. And my mom looks right over at me, and she goes, "You're not happy, are you?" I said, "The fucking thing ain't done." It's not done. But enough of my ranting and raving. I'm glad that the old couple liked it behind me, let alone the same old friend group who probably knew all of Fred Rogers. They met him and were friends with him when he was a kid. They were the same people in the same row in the same theater that saw The Christmas Ring with us.
That seems like a very likely possibility.
They absolutely loved it. This old woman goes, "I like these movies on TV, and now I get to see one in the theater. Oh boy, that's gonna be fun." And I said, "Okay, cool." But as long as the target audience has fun, God bless them. They didn't know it wasn't finished. Me, yeah. I did. But anyways, that was my number 7. Do not watch Another Sweet Christmas unless you just want to see a movie that's now finished.
And available for free, mind you.
Oh no, you still have to pay the $10 for the subscription service for Great American Pure Flix.
No, that's not happening. that's there's not a sure shot in hell that's happening here. My number 6 is Kind of Pregnant. This it was jaw-droppingly bad. Very unpleasant. Not a movie that really should have been released. Amy Schumer, which I haven't had a problem with Amy Schumer like a lot of these other people have. I love Trainwreck. I like Snatched, and I liked I Feel Pretty, but this was really bad.
Yep.
She plays this very unlikable woman who is allowed to be an English teacher in a high school. She is at a maternity store for her friend, and she puts on one of the fake pregnancy bellies, and somebody she turns around and somebody like offers to help her, and she's like really sweet to her and all that, and after that one interaction she gets in her head like, oh, so in order for people to like not think I'm a complete and total repulsive piece of shit, I have to be pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So she fakes being pregnant, and it's just really bad. It is incredibly unfunny. I love Will Forte. He's the main love interest for her. But this was not doing him any favors at all. I really, really detested this. This is really bad. Like I said at the top of the show, I'm very surprised that this didn't make your list because you and I both really didn't like this.
Mm-hmm.
But this was awful. This was really bad.
It was my number 13. It was my 13. I mean, it almost made it, but with the next couple, I looked at the list and I'm like, would I rather watch this one next or this one next? And I decided I'd rather watch Kind of Pregnant over yet another Christmas movie, which I am going to keep this one very brief. This is called Christmas of Giving. This is all about the Bedford House, which is a local charity nonprofit, and there's time running out. We've seen this before. Ash Tai is a really good actor. She did an indie movie called Namaka, which is pretty decent for an indie film. She's now a mainstay on Great American Family, and this movie is poorly shot. It's not lit very well at all. The acting is piss poor. The screenplay is barely there. It looks like they're improvising most of their lines, and there's no chemistry in a romance movie. When a romance movie on TV can't keep me entertained for 84 minutes, there's something wrong there. Particularly when that's my cup of tea with as many as I watch every single year. And I'm normally pretty forgiving. Granted, I talk to people who make them, so I know how long and hard it is to make these because they do it in such a short span of time. But this year was something different. I mean, you and I both know lots of people who make films, and it's one of the hardest things in the world. It's even harder to make a good movie.
Oh, absolutely.
It's very hard. I mean, we both know people who have made great films, and this is just baffling that this much money went into it, and a talent like Ash was roped into this because of a contractual obligation with Great American Family.
Yeah,
and most of the time you're not even told. You're basically in a contractual obligation, and I think she didn't produce this one, and I hope she doesn't go the route with them. I don't like this channel very much at all, if I'm being completely honest with you, because of the way they treat everybody else. If you don't think their way, then you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm friends with people who are over there, with actors who are over there, and filmmakers who have made movies for them. So I'm supporting my friends, really. Ash is a very sweet woman. This movie is god-awful. Easily one of the worst Christmas films I've ever seen. this is among the worst movies I have ever seen, if I'm being completely honest with you, along with the next five, which we will get into in just a little bit.
Well, that tracks with the Great American Family. I don't blame you at all. Especially when it comes to stuff like what's at my number 5, in which millions of dollars was also poured into this. Bride Hard. This, just the title alone would tell you is not good. This is an action comedy film with Rebel Wilson as a secret agent. Her best friend is getting married, and she is a part of the bridal party, and she's like, I'm going to take this time to relax. But of course, that old action movie trope, it's never a vacation because something happens. Steven Dorff, who I love Steven Dorff, and even he didn't seem like he could be bothered with this one. He comes in with his like gang of mercenaries, and they want something from the wedding. They want like what's ever in this like safe or vault or whatever. Mm-hmm. This is a movie that is very deeply unfunny, very just a very nasty undercurrent. It lets down all of its actresses. On top of Rebel Wilson, it lets down Anna Camp, Anna Klumsky, Divine Joy Randolph, Steven Dorff. It lets down Steven Dorff. This is just atrocious. I really don't understand who exactly this was made for. This is done by Simon West, who's done like a lot of action-oriented films, and you know he's a very hit or miss filmmaker. This is probably his worst one by a mile. This is really awful. That's Bride Hard.
My number 5 is, shocker, another Great American Christmas movie. This was the first one, however, so this set the tone. I know this actor, Christopher Russell, really nice dude. It's poorly and boringly written. It's trying to shove religion into a movie where it could have been left out, which is what a lot of religious movies do. This one is all about this woman played by Shay Robbins. She's a children's book illustrator, and she's struggling with burnout. And she finds this inspiration when she finds this little girl's gift list. And she's not asking for gifts. This little girl is asking, how do they put it here? Oh, okay. She writes her list of heartfelt prayers to Jesus, requesting blessings for her family, friends, and community, including one to ask that her recently widowed dad find happiness again. Touched by her list, the woman now begins to secretly fulfill each blessing. In turn, she is inspired to create a new character, Adeline the Angel, to illustrate the ways Jesus quietly works through everyday people to answer prayers with love and grace.
Wow. If my eyes could have detached from how hard they rolled, they'd be on the floor. That is horrible.
I don't need to go any on. I don't need to go on anymore, but I'm going to go on a little bit more. Because knowing Christopher, having seen him in 15, 20 plus films, I can tell he would rather have his nuts cut off than be in this movie. Because in every romance movie like this, there's a kiss. This is the worst kiss I've ever seen in a romance movie. There is no passion there. He has probably kissed his mom and kissed his grandma with more passion than what this had. There was nothing in this. It is, again, one of the worst Christmas films I've ever seen, but boy, we got one more Christmas one to talk about at number 4, but let's go into your number 4.
So my number 4, I actually a couple minutes ago I switched number 3 and number 4 only because the more I looked at it, I was like, well, I hate both of them, but I got to switch them because of what it is. So my number 4 is Marked Men, Rule and Shaw. I have a message for whoever out there is out there. You know, a lot of people who work in films that at least have been on, television or theatrically or something.
Mm-hmm.
Please stop adapting Wattpad romance novels.
Yep.
Not written by professional authors into complete dog shit movies.
Mm-hmm.
I am very much tired of it. This is horrible. This is no different than the 5 After movies or the 2 Beautiful Disaster, Beautiful Wedding movies. This is pretty much a tattoo artist who very much doesn't do a whole lot of tattooing, falls in love with someone who is like a family friend, and the stupid crap that they go through over it. This was really a tough set. At this point, I don't know who these movies are being made for, because if we're talking about the target audience, odds are the target audience were a fan of these things whenever they came out years and years ago. Who knows if they're still going to enjoy them at this point? This was just junk. This was first class junk. I hated this.
I'm going to keep this next one short. This is Doc Holly's Christmas. This is a low-budget, micro-budget film that I rented for the grand total of $5.
Oh, God. I see, the thing is, I don't, unless it's a Friends movie that I like really, really, really want to support,
Mm-hmm.
I don't rent things that come out digitally, because odds are I will wait for it for like several months to hit a streaming service.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And then finally I'll break down and rent it, and then like the next day or the next week it shows up on fucking Tubi or Hulu or something.
Exactly.
So I've learned my lesson enough.
I am a glutton for punishment, especially around Christmas time. I'm just going to read this plot to you. When Holly flees a cafe without paying in Holly, Michigan. Okay. Holly, Michigan. Her LA plans derail into community service at a local vet clinic. Between adorable patients and a charming veterinarian, this Christmas detour might just become her favorite destination.
Oh, well.
I have seen more chemistry between a plunger and a toilet than in this movie. That's my review. I've seen better acting in elementary school plays than I did in this movie.
Well, because in elementary school plays, they try. They want their moms and dads to see what they've been doing.
Exactly. And if they watch this, they will give their child their very own Oscar, because it's that bad. This movie is god awful, which means you and I have the same number 3.
Oh, do we? Is it Oh Hi?
It's Oh Hi.
Oh Hi is awful. This was the first. It took until July last year, but it was the first 0 star from me last year. Marked Men was 0 as well. This was shown at a mystery movie screening, and I'm like, oh well, I missed the last few. Let me go to this one, and it just shocked me at how piss poor this was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, At first, so my thought process for like what grade I'm going to give a movie, it fluctuates throughout the movie depending on how it's going. And I don't really get a firm grasp on it until like there's like 20 minutes or so left to go. But it was like, okay, this is okay. And then it dropped down. I'm like, okay, it might be a star and a half now. And then, okay, 1 star. Halfway through, I was like, this is at least a half-star movie. And then there was a half hour left, and I'm like, this movie's giving me nothing. Why would I even attempt to grade it? Like, this is awful. This is really unfunny. The title itself is stupid because it's the name of a town that they're visiting.
Yeah.
Molly Gordon and Logan Lerman are going to this cabin, and they have sex and everything, and they're about to do it again, and Logan Lerman's like, oh, well, let's try something with handcuffs, and she's like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm not ready for that yet. And he goes, well, do you want to do it on me or whatnot? So he ends up handcuffed to the bed, but he says something that, ruins the mood. I think it's, they've been together a few months, but he doesn't see her as like a serious girlfriend. So she ends up doing what any rational person would do, and that's keeping him handcuffed to the bed for 12 hours straight, and not allowing him to get up to do anything until he admits that he is in love with her. And the humor that comes from that situation doesn't work, and it doesn't land, and it's horrible. Molly Gordon is a very, very good actress. Just a couple years ago, she was in Theater Camp. That movie is wildly hilarious. I loved that movie. How do you go from something so funny to something this dreadfully acrid? This is horrible.
I will piggyback off of that. The humor, this is the pinnacle of their humor. He's handcuffed to the bed. He has to pee. She holds the bottle up to his, you know what. He pees. She looks at it and goes, well, someone's a little dehydrated, isn't it?
Oh God, yeah, that's right.
Well, clearly, my thing with this movie is this could have been a short film, and he could have got out of this with like 1 hour left in the movie.
Well, not even a short film. I don't understand what the initial story is. I really don't.
I was sitting there, and yes, don't lie to your significant other. Of course, don't lie to your significant other. But in this case, you're handcuffed to the bed. You know you're not going to get out of it unless you say you love her. Lie and say you love her. Get your ass out of those handcuffs and go. And then their friends are there. Their friends are there. What the fuck do?
They try helping her. And
they try helping her. They try helping her. And that's supposed to lead to more comedy. How is this funny? I'm laughing now because of how stupid it is. Because I'm sitting there watching this, and I see a couple of my friends in here. Luke and Mike, they love this movie, and I love you, bros. Man, I love you guys, but I hate this movie. I hate this movie, and Kyle hates this movie, but we love that you love it. We're so glad you love it. Every movie is subjective. There's no objective opinion. It's all subjective. We hate this movie. You love it. God bless y'all.
Absolutely.
This movie is awful. It is awful. I want to sit down with somebody and make them watch this. Just to see what they think, just because we are all like, we're all movie lovers. We love movies. It's pretty much in our top 3 favorite things in life. This movie is one of the worst comedies I've ever seen, the worst romance I have seen in a good long time. This movie is about an hour too long. If he would have just lied and said he loved her, he could have got out of there within 30 minutes of this runtime.
Oh, absolutely.
But then the movie wouldn't be a movie. We would have no movie. This is awful. I hated it. I hated it just as much as you did. And when I saw your rating, I'm like, oh my God. I've been looking forward to this one. Now I'm scared. Because for you and I, as we've seen in this stream, we don't always agree.
Mm-hmm.
This is one where we fully fucking agree. This is the worst pile of shit. One of the worst, biggest piles of shit that we have seen in 2025. And I don't think I'm going to see a lot of movies worse in 2026 than Oh Hi.
Well, as evidenced, I mean, Oh Hi is only both of our number 3.
Yeah.
My number two was actually the worst of the year for me for a good stretch until I saw number 1 about 2 weeks ago. My number 2 is a Netflix original called Fixed.
Mm.
Fixed is an animated adult comedy film about dogs, about them humping and wanting to hump on this and getting in their last night of humping before they get their nuts cut off. Hence the title Fixed. I sat down with Molly to watch this because this was a couple of weeks after we had moved in together, and I was like, well, let's watch something funny together. You know, I thought it would look like a time. Boy, was I mistaken. She didn't even, she left like 20 minutes into it. Like, she's like, I'm going to go do something else. And I said, I don't blame you. I finished it. It was wretched. The animation is very reminiscent of like Ren and Stimpy. The guy who made it, I think, is behind the Hotel Transylvania movies.
Oh God.
And I read that he's like, oh, this was a passion project of mine. I said, oh, you should be locked up. Like, that's this was just it was gross without. I'm all for gross out humor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen The Pit, the show The Pit.
It's my favorite show on TV right now. I love it.
My aunt and uncle got me into watching that. There was an episode, the new episode we watched last night. Are you caught up with it?
I'm not. I'm 2 episodes behind.
Okay, so there's something that happens in the 11 o'clock episode that was extremely funny. It's gross out, but I was cackling.
Okay.
That is understandable. This was just like, oh, the movie opens with the main dog humping grandma's leg, and grandma doesn't have her glasses on, and the dog gets knocked off, and you see her vision, her POV shot, it's blurry, and she's like, oh, my lipstick, I dropped it. Let me reach down and grab it. It was whoever, and then I don't know, whoever at Netflix agreed to go ahead and greenlight this. There's jail time. That's and like I said, she didn't even see the whole thing.
My number 2 was in your dishonorable mentions. My number 2 is House on Eden.
House on Eden.
I absolutely hated this movie. I get it's 2 YouTubers making a horror movie. God bless them. If this was a passion project, go for it. I know they do something on YouTube sort of like this. They do this a lot apparently. But this one was just messy. It was not scary. It was massively cheap, and it didn't look like they were even acting. It was just like they were hanging out.
Not even that. All three of them were like snipping at each other through the whole fucking thing. I'm like, this is not entertaining. Why?
And I'm sitting there, and when she's doing that chant, the ritual chant, there in the middle of the living room there, I'm like, okay, this is becoming a cult movie. You never even insinuated that there was even a thing about a cult in here. We get to the end, and the other girl is now part of this cult.
Yeah, the ending was really. If the entire movie was a waste of time, the ending is just the peak of stupidity.
I can't imagine seeing a worse horror movie in 2025, and then I saw my number one. But we will get into that in just a minute.
So my worst of the year, for those that don't know, like my process, if something comes out like in a limited release or digitally that I don't want to like rent, or if it just doesn't come here to me, I'll make a list of like, oh, these are movies that have come out that I'll want to check out later on in the year. And this was one of them. And the guy who directed this, he did The Greasy Strangler, which I have not seen, but that's like a cult movie, and it has been for the last 10 years. But his one movie that I did see, it was with Aubrey Plaza and Emile Hirsch, called An Evening with Beverly Loughlin. That was terrific. That was a really, really good movie. And then he goes and does this. This is Ebony and Ivory. This is a movie. I couldn't even tell you what the main goal of this was. So I'm sure you're familiar with the song Ebony and Ivory by Paul McCartney and Stevie Wonder. Well, here we have Stevie Wonder coming to Paul McCartney's little cottage in Scotland to discuss a potential collaboration. But the problem is they just fuck around the entire time. The dialogue in this movie is very repetitive. Not a single thing about it is funny. These two guys who are impersonating Stevie Wonder and Paul McCartney are dreadful. The movie has when it has one joke, it extends the shit out of it for about 10 minutes. Paul McCartney offers Stevie Wonder a joint, but he calls it a doobie woobie. And be prepared to hear that phrase 9,000 times. Be prepared for them to repeatedly bring up vegan meal options. There is a 10-minute interlude, the only time in the movie where they're not in the house talking to each other. They are at the beach, the only two people at the beach, by the way, completely naked, 3-foot dongs hanging down, dancing, going swimming, and then they come back into the house. It's not clear if this director thinks that Stevie Wonder is faking his blindness or not. Because there are several times where the actor who is playing Stevie Wonder is looking directly at Paul McCartney, and McCartney seems to kind of acknowledge it or not acknowledge it. I don't understand. The whole way that Stevie Wonder comes to the island is he ventures to there by himself on this little rowboat. It's the whole thing is ridiculous. It is a complete waste of time. It is unfunny. It is extremely poorly put together, poorly acted, and one of the absolute worst ideas ever put to a movie I've I've ever seen. I wouldn't venture to say it's as bad as last year's or 2024's The Private Eye,
Mm.
which I consider to be the worst movie of the 2020s thus far. But it's up there. It's really atrocious. I don't understand what the thought process for this was, but it wasn't a positive or a good one. Ebony and Ivory is my personal pick for the worst movie of 2025.
My number one. I know you liked this one. I know you liked this one. So this one may sting a little bit. My review said this. This is the worst movie of the year, hands down. But the movie is so slow and practically goes nowhere. And by the end, you're left bored, not caring, and disappointed about what happened or why it happened. I would go lower, but our lead actress is so good in this, I just can't. This was Keeper.
Oh wow, that was Osgood Perkins' other movie this year, which
Yeah.
I liked a lot more than The Monkey.
I don't like Osgood Perkins movies. I don't like his movies. I've seen every single one except for The Black Coat's Daughter, which I'm gonna watch. This movie, I was sitting there and I was just bored the entire time. I'm a chicken shit when it comes to horror. When you can't creep me out, there's an issue. And with this movie, there are moments where Tatiana Maslany is phenomenal. She's great in this movie. She's the shining star of this movie. I thought this movie was poorly written, poorly executed, not scary, and just flat out the most boring movie I saw in 2025. I was watching this and I just couldn't believe it. Osgood Perkins' Longlegs was the only film of his that I was sitting there watching going, this has some promise to it. Primarily Nicolas Cage. And anything that he's in, he makes it work. Mostly. Not including his like straight to Blu-ray stuff. But this movie was one of those movies where I was not looking forward to it in the slightest, but I went into it with an open mind, knowing I don't like Osgood's movies thus far. And I thought maybe this will be the one that changes my mind. I'm hearing a lot of good things about it. I'm hearing a lot of people enjoy it. You really enjoyed it. And I thought maybe this will be the one. I don't know if it's just Osgood's filmmaking style or what, but I haven't liked a single Osgood movie, and this is my worst movie of 2025.
Keeper, see, when I saw that, I knew that it was going to be kind of a divisive movie because of with certain movies, I can tell just by the way that they play out with their tones and everything.
Yep.
I really dug it. I dug what it was going for. I will give you the first half is a little like it goes around in circles for a little bit, and I completely get why most people would have checked out after that. But once that reveal happens, like halfway through, I things started clicking into pieces started clicking into place a lot. Wow, excuse me. It made everything a lot more clear to me. But like I said, I can very much understand why Keeper wouldn't work for a lot of people.
Now, I'm not going to say it's awful. I usually find something redeeming in most movies. Keeper, I saw Tatiana Maslany. She's giving a great performance. With all the other films, I found something redeeming other than just one performance.
Uh-huh.
Sure, for another Sweet Christmas, it's a bad movie, and it was unfinished. But at least I found some other things where I'm like, okay, that this was technically well done here. It's well mixed here. I saw different things as a Hallmark viewer who's seen hundreds of those things. where I'm like, okay, this was done right. This isn't a complete train wreck. It's just not finished. Keeper, I at least can say it was a finished movie. It was ready to be released in theaters. It just didn't work for me almost in the slightest besides our lead performance. But again, you and I know each other well enough that we will never be one to be like, don't watch this because it's awful and we hate it, because you will hate it too. Or if you hated it, great, we agree. And if you liked it, then you're wrong. We will always come on here and be like, if you like this movie, God bless you. We love that you love it. We didn't like it. Differing opinions. That's life.
That absolutely is. And if somebody insults you for liking something, just throw a brick at them or something. I don't know.
Tell them to go and watch the comedy classic Freddy Got Fingered. That yeah.
That's, I mean, there are movies that from last year that I loved that a lot of people really didn't like Ella McKay. A lot of people hated that. I loved it. I thought it was really good.
I can't wait to see that. It's on Hulu now, and I've been wanting to see it. I mean, that trailer looked like it was up my alley.
Yeah, I was going to say that just popped on Hulu this weekend, so definitely give it a watch. Let me know what you think. But I really liked it.
My best of list is pretty solid. Not very divisive, but there's a couple movies on there where I don't think anybody's gonna have them on there, but that's the beauty of our best and worst of lists. I will say though that I'm very happy to report by seeing both of our lists, we do overlap a little bit. So that's awesome.
Good.
But as always, everybody, thanks for stopping on. Thanks for supporting Kyle and I. We enjoy doing this show. We will do more as we can. We will not be back every single month, but we will come back as often as we can and talk movies with each other and with you guys.
Absolutely. As always, Noah, thank you very much for having me on. You're an absolute gem, and the time that I to talk to you, virtual face to face is always very, very much time well spent. So thank you very kindly for having me on again.
And thank you for coming on. It's a great joy. We get to hang out like this, but also the Facebook comments never let us down. That's where we just let loose and we don't give a shit.
Absolutely.
But until next time, everybody, subscribe to my channel and subscribe to Kyle's channel, Concrete Angel, on YouTube. Check out his massive collection. He has a massive thousands of movies, and I think that he deserves to get to over 1,100 subscribers very, very soon. And
I actually think, not to interrupt, I actually think I crossed over 1,100 subscribers, which is surprising to me because I haven't been uploading the last couple months.
Well, life's been busy. It's been very busy.
Life gets busy, but it's been a really wonderful busy. It hasn't been like I can't catch a break busy. It's been very wonderful. So
exactly. And I'm slowly coming back on my channel too, because I've been putting a lot of effort onto the podcast because I want to grow that as much as possible. But now I'm finding a nice even blend of podcast and my channel, which we need that because I just crossed 1,300.
Hey, congratulations.
Which for somebody who hasn't been uploading actual videos in a good while, I've been doing shorts instead because shorts get more views, but I will bring back the longer form content very, very soon. So until next time, everybody, and subscribe to my channel and Kyle's channel. And if you would kindly subscribe to the Heartful of Hallmark channel, because we are closing in on our goal. A lot more interviews coming very, very soon. If you haven't seen our latest interviews, check out my interview coming soon with Steven Tobolowsky and Christopher Palaha talking about their brand new movie Mimics, and mine and Kirsten's interview with Rachel Lee Cook. We were lucky enough to get to talk to her. Lovely lady. We loved her, and I had to ask her about the lovely Paul Walker.
Now, I love Steven Tobolowsky.
Mm-hmm.
One of my most rewatched videos on YouTube is the video where he discusses his time filming The Glimmer Man with Steven Seagal. That man is a bona fide storyteller. I live for it, and I love him as an actor. I think he's terrific as an actor.
I had not seen any interviews with him, and I was very disheartened because I was told I only had 20 minutes with both of them. Just a 20-minute interview. And it got to the point where I asked 2 questions for their film, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, they're just telling stories now. They're having fun with each other. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm supposed to be driving this interview, but I can't really tell them to be quiet. But Steven is awesome. He loves meeting everybody. He loves his fans, and so does Chris. I loved getting to talk to them, and I hope to have a longer form interview with both of them because God bless them. They are 2 of the nicest, and I shit you not, genuinely most funny people I've ever talked to on the podcast. Because Steven went in, we started about their Mimics movie, then into a story with Steven's book, to him being held at gunpoint at 22 years old.
Oh, wow.
So check out that interview. That should be out very, very soon. I'm going to upload that next Friday when the movie comes out in theaters. But until next time, everybody, like, subscribe for more, and we'll see all of you guys next time.
Bye, guys.